rookie from Ohio State. Out to the 25-yard line, and flags are down again. That's almost a normal accompaniment to every kickoff these days.
Yeah, Jeff Query, 85, was holding Workman up, and Workman gave him a pop right in the back and knocked him about 6 yards.
Holding.
This side, Fred.
Okay.
This side.
Holding.
There you go.
Number 35.
35. Michael Haddock.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown pass, Creamer to Finney.
Let me circle these guys up. This is Finney. Finney he's going to go in motion. Now, the man that has to cover him is Kenny Stills, 29, the free safety. Now, he has to follow him because that's his guy. Now, when Kenny gets to the line of scrimmage, he'll break out, and he'll be wide open for the touchdown. Watch Johnny Holland, 50, say, go with him, go with him. But Stills is behind him, gambles for the interception, misses it, and there's your touchdown.
First down and 10 from the 11. Play fake, Mikowski, who's hit only one pass on first down today, is incomplete again. He goes for Ed West, his tight end. Merriweather and Rutland were over there, and Rutland has 2 interceptions already.
I played against this offense when it was at Cincinnati, and I have seen it at its best, and it'll drive you absolutely crazy. I would have to say that so far in the first 2.5 quarters, this offense hasn't even been, I mean, this thing's not even warmed up. It's just lukewarm because it's not functioning the way I know that Lenny Infante wants to see it function. And the Green Bay Packers used to see it function.
24-7, second down and 10. Millard shifts to the left side, goes by Halston. The pass dropped by Sterling Sharp. And at the very last second, you saw Keith Millard shift from his right side to his left side.
This is just confuses the line blocking. When you see, this is the man they have to be concerned about, 75. Now he hops and he comes over here and lines up to the other side. Now the left guard, Rich Moran, says, oh, no, now notice the nose tackle offsets, and now Hallstrom has the job of blocking Millard.
Third down and 10. Millard with 2 sacks today, 10 on the year. Blitz threatened by the Vikings. Fullington dances back. Mikowski, safety. Ray Berry. A flag is down as well at the 4-yard line.
That flag could be for intentional grounding by Mikowski, realizing that he was going to be sacked. Deliberately just threw the ball away.
He'll be used to the hands to the face mask. Number 75 declined safety.
Ken Rutgers.
Barry is lined up. This is Barry coming inside. Now the guard has to come out, Moran, and pick him up. He anticipates the angle where Barry is going to be and fires out after him, but he fired out too soon. Barry was that enabled Barry to come in behind Moran and get the hand on the young quarterback.
Mikowski having a long afternoon, 4 of 15 for 80 yards, 2 interceptions, and now a safety. Barry backed up Jesse Solomon at the weak side linebacker spot the last 2 years. Told us yesterday he feels very comfortable at that position. He got to start in a playoff game against the Rams last year and had 10 tackles in that spot. Yet the safety here. The free kick taken by Leo Lewis. And he's out to the 43. And a fight is broken out. Tiger Green, John Galvin. That's the second time they've mixed it up. Now let's go back and take a look at the safety, Ray Berry, who came from the right side and got to Don Mikowski.
Well, the key is Berry will show up. He comes in, and Moran, the guard, has to come out and block him. But watch what happens now as we freeze. freeze frame it. There's a snap. Moran sees his man. Now he comes, stop right there. Now notice Moran comes out and now allows Berry to come back inside, and that was the key to it. Moran took an angle, fired off, and then missed.
Herschel Walker, flag down in the offensive backfield. They might get Tim Irwin tackling Robert Brown on this play.
Gosh, you take away all these penalties. Herschel's got 100 yards today.
Yep.
Holding, number 76. 10 yards, first down.
Well, Tim Irwin's alma mater is going to be on CBS next week. He's a big Tennessee fan, having played there, and Tennessee takes on Alabama. Yeah, they take
Alma mater?
Well, they're also going to play Alabama in the second half.
Yeah.
Live at 12 o'clock Eastern in the second game of the college doubleheader. I think
Marinovich, the young freshman for Southern Cal.
2:36 to go. Third quarter. It's been all Minnesota since quarter number 1. First down and 20. Novoselsky trips. Herschel Walker does it. That puts him awfully close to 100 yards in his first game in a Viking uniform. He's got 98.
He loves the eye. He ran the eye at Georgia. He loves it because it allows him to turn up with his face and his hips toward the line of scrimmage. He gets inside, and this is a man that will move the piles. He's extremely strong. And by his own admittance to us, he says, I am an ugly runner. Well, he may be ugly, but all they want with the Vikings is the yards, and he's getting them today.
That's a gain of 22. He's got 98. And he's in the eye again. Draw play. Herschel Walker. Over 100 for his first game in a Minnesota uniform.
I'd put him in the eye, and I'd run him till he couldn't run anymore, because that's what he does best. That's what he likes to do.
101 yards on 12 carries. And he got here Thursday morning. There's the reaction as the crowd realizes he's over 100 yards.
They were worried whether or not they could get enough plays for him.
It won't be his last 100-yard game. That was good for 15 yards.
He has to be happy. Enough about Walker. Now let's talk about his offensive line, because look at the holes. This is something he hasn't seen with the Cowboys. These guys, Kalis and Laudermilk and Huffman, can come off the ball, and Irwin can come off and create holes. And a guy, a back like Walker, all he needs is to see the hole, and with 4.3 sprinter speed, he's able to hit it.
First down and 10. Walker with 116 gets a rest. Putback. DJ Dozier in there. With Alfred Anderson, that may be a lateral. It is, and Green Bay has the football. Ruled a lateral behind Alfred Anderson. Jerry Burns can't believe it. That's the end of the third quarter. With our score 26-7 Minnesota, we now pause for a word from your local station. Back for the fourth quarter, and that man has to be enjoying what he has seen today. That is Chuck Foreman. Until this afternoon, perhaps the greatest running back in Viking history. And here's Brent Fullwood. He's knocked down at the 36-yard line. First play of the fourth quarter. Chuck Foreman, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection in 7 years here out of the University of Miami. Terry, I know you played against him. He was a classic back.
Well, he was a great back, and he had a lot of the qualities that Herschel has, and the fact that he could run the football, he could run it up inside, he had speed to go outside, and also an excellent receiver. If you separated the two players, the one key ingredient would be this guy was fast, Walker was a sprinter speed.
Wave at us, Chuck. I think he just realized he was on. Second down and 7. chased by Merriweather. Out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Just one more note on Herschel Walker's 100-yard game now. First time in almost 2 years that a Minnesota Viking back has gone over 100. Darren Nelson against the Cowboys, ironically enough, got 118 yards November 26, 1987. And, of course, Darren Nelson traded to the Cowboys in the trade. 21-14, 49ers lead Dallas now. There's Herschel Walker with 116 yards on 12 carries. Woodside Fontenot in the backfield for Green Bay. 14-11 to go. Fontenot tries the halfback pass. Say goodnight, Keith Millard.
Millard lining up down inside now. Let me circle him right here. Right in the middle, this is a gadget. This is a lateral back, now a turnaround, now Majkowski. I don't believe that Majkowski was involved in that at all. I believe Fontenot just all of a sudden realized he wasn't going anywhere and was going to get rid of the football, but because Majkowski certainly didn't look like a man that could receive a pass.
Second down, 19. Draw play, fake. Majkowski goes deep in the middle for Perry Kemp. Can't quite get it. That was a good-looking play, though.
Play action now, Vern, really serves no purpose when you're down 26-7. It really serves no purpose because notice the linebackers. See if they freeze on the play action. It did hold Millard 55, and it did hold Barry. So, Studwell, I'm sorry. There's a good throw. But the play action right now serves no purpose in the fact that you need to get things off quickly, and play action is going to slow you down. You've got to throw the football, and the Vikings know this.
3rd and 19, 26-7. Four-man rush. Majkowski with that rolling pocket. Drills it. Caught by Perry Kemp. Short of the first down. Fumble. Up. Ruled down. Green Bay ball.
That's the same pass that we saw Majkowski throw to Kemp earlier. The rollout this time to the right. Once again to the right. Kemp going down and turning around. Notice Majkowski just takes it and sprints out. Kemp will come into your screen. The lower left there, wide open. There's the pass. That seems to be the one play that the Packers have been able to run and run very successful. Now the scramble for the ball.
Don't know that you could tell much from that replay. And look at Jerry Burns is looking up at the replay screen. It's funny how this thing has pervaded all of our lives now.
Kemp will make the stretches out. Kemp will stretch his hands out with the ball in the hand, and then we'll lose the ball, but I believe he's already down.
4th down. Take a look at the end of the play again.
First of all, you establish the ball is caught, which it is. Now Kemp, realizing where the first down marker, sees it, now reaches out, and then the ball is knocked out. Looks like it's knocked out by number 25, Darrell Smith.
Either Smith or Carl Lee.
The play stands as it is. Number 63 is eligible.
So on 4th down, trailing 26-7. And I'm sure Fritz Graff, the replay official, ruled that inconclusive evidence. 4th and 1, and Green Bay will go for it. Perfect so far in the one time this year. Fullwood. I believe he got it with that little spurt at the end of the run. That's Anthony Dilweg to the left, the 3rd-round draft choice, number 8, the backup quarterback. His grandfather, by the way, is a member of the all-time Packer team, Laddie Dilweg, who was a defensive end back in the 20s. So ironic that Anthony Dilweg winds up as a draft choice of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Ron Pitts is a Packer.
Right. Elijah Pitts, his dad. one of the things John Spagnuolo was talking to me about, Terry, before the game, of course, he played with Philadelphia and Seattle. He said, you know what? I've always been a closet Packer fan. And I think a lot of people around the country feel that way about this city and this team. Play fake, Majkowski. Going left, that'll be incomplete. He's having a tough day.
Well, he's having a tough day. He's going against, once again, the very best defense in the National Football League. And what stops great offense is great defense. And it will take a spectacular day on behalf of an offense to overcome this type of pressure. This is just a young Green Bay offensive line, a young quarterback, and I have to believe there's a little bit of panic that has set in now because these guys, Vikings, are the kings, them and the Bears, and these Vikings have been beaten pretty soundly by the Packers the last few times.
Once again, the Vikings in the overshift, Millard with the pressure. Dolman comes after Majkowski, and the pass is incomplete.
Majkowski will bait the rushers. Now watch how deep he sets up, and he'll draw Dolman right to him. And now he says, "Ha-ha, I got you." Now he steps up into his little protective area called the pocket. So he actually set up deep, let Dolman look at him, and then he ran and hurried inside where he's protected and fired the football. He just rushed that ball that time over stride. Stride was too long, which brings the ball down and forced him to throw it in the ground.
Out of the shotgun, third down and 10, 11:19 to go. Rush from the outside. Dolman just misses him. Millard gets him. That's 3 for the day.
Passing down, extra backs, just rushing 3 linemen. Dolman inside, Millard with a spin move goes to the outside, and then Dolman rushed the quarterback Majkowski out of the pocket right into the arms at time of Keith Millard.
Don Bracken's punt, fair catch called at the 9-yard line by Leo Lewis. 10:47 to go. Keith Millard has led the defense. Herschel Walker has led the offense. It's been all Vikings.
On hopefully next 3 weeks until I come back.
Jim and Bubby, thanks very much. Quarterback is a challenging position, that's obvious, but it's especially true in Chicago, where coaches...
An ineffective day. Herschel Walker with 116 yards in his debut for the Vikings. And Keith Millard operating from a tackle position, a defensive tackle position. 4 sacks today, Terry, and he's got 12 for the year.
And that is extremely unusual, Vern, because the key, most of your big sack guy come from the outside. They come from big stand-up linebackers like Lawrence Taylor or Dolman, who's now a defensive end. But in the 4-3, normally your sacks come from the outside, come from ends. But for a tackle like Millard, who has to go through guards, centers, and a back to get to the quarterback, it's just unheard of, and it's very unusual. This guy has 12 sacks already for this year. It's just unheard of.
Quick pass to Herschel Walker, who breaks the tackle and then gets up and out of bounds at the 17-yard line. They'll now rule an incomplete pass. Fred Wyant, the referee, said, nope, he trapped it. And Wyant had a pretty good view of it.
Eventually what will happen is when Walker goes out, a corner doesn't cover him. A safety normally will come up and cover him. And you see Stills, 29, is a safety covering the back. Had that ball been up in Walker's chest, he catches that thing, man. I'm telling you, this guy can grab him and haul it on down the field.
In the background, you might have seen Fred Wyant, who did have a perfect angle on that ball, immediately signal incomplete. Walker, who said his life has gone in increments of 3 years the last motion on the left side, Irwin and Robert Brown. Look at Tim Irwin. Said it was him, 93.
He's excited about Tennessee at Alabama.
We have encroachment, number 93, 5 yards, second down.
That's the second time now we've seen Robert Brown call for encroachment.
That roar in the background is in response to the public address system. which has just announced that Herschel Walker has rushed for 116 yards. That's the applause you hear resounding throughout the Metrodome. Novosilski starts in motion, 2nd and 5. Walker started to say he's talked about his and a fight breaks out. Brian Noble and
looks like, is that Laudermilk? It is.
Yeah. Well, they're quickly separated. There's the Viking center.
Yeah, you would expect that. I would be disappointed when I played against an arch rival, a hated rival, if we didn't have fights. Now, I didn't want to be in any fights, understand?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I would want my boys to be in some fights. I would. That tells me that they're you know, they got the edge. They're up. They're ready. They don't like him in the first place, and now the fight just tells me I feel good. No worry here.
3rd and 1. The tempo is set. I see. Blitz. Walker takes care of the blitz, moves the pile, which is something they hadn't been doing much in Dallas. Back to Herschel, he said he played 3 years at Georgia, then quit for the USFL, 3 years in the USFL, then went to the Cowboys, 3 years in Dallas. Who knows? But he's here now.
Well, he got some, what did he get? Appreciation money?
Appreciation money.
Yeah, I got a little appreciation money. I never
the Steelers never got you?
I never got any appreciation money. It's my understanding that $1 million, $1.5 million, a little appreciation.
Going away gift.
Going away gift. God, that's unheard of in the National Football League by the owners. Them will go here. Go away. Here's $1.5 million.
I mean, we've all heard of reporting bonuses, but departing bonuses, no. There's Walker with the spin move.
It's not funny, is it?
Not to you and me.
A couple poor people trying to make a living. Appreciation money, my goodness.
Asked Herschel if he had his limo up here. He said, no, I didn't fly my driver up. And he said it with a smile. He was laughing. He does take things with a certain detachment. And, you know, it's amazing, not that you and I know him well, but we know him. I don't know if anybody other than Cindy, his wife, knows him well.
He likes them.
Yep. Part of the mystique. 2nd and 8. Not anymore. This time.
Put your eyes in the back of 34 and watch the linebackers. Keep your eyes on the linebackers, these linebackers, and watch what they do, and watch Walker. Notice they go to the left. Now he sets them up, and then he goes back to the right. Good seal blocking by the line. Everyone to the left. Walker cut back to the right.
140 yards on 16 carries for Herschel Walker. 1st and 10, Minnesota, 7:40 to go in the game. He comes left and gains 7.
So many times, Vern, you have keys that you watch. Keys for Tommy Kramer is this gentleman. This is Harris, 97. He's lined up to the left, and so with him inside, now the pitch to Walker going outside. Harris inside. The best man rushing is Harris. So now where he is, you just go wide. He's easy to block when he's inside over a guard and between a tackle. There's no way that he can cut off penetration outside.
2nd down and 3, under 7 minutes remaining. Motion in the line. Todd Kalis and Robert Brown this time.
Well, Kalis isn't doing any pointing, and Brown's just walking away.
Both start, number 74 and 69. 2nd down, 5-yard penalty.
Herschel Walker got a private plane to Minneapolis at 6 o'clock Thursday morning. He worked out, rather Friday morning. He worked out Friday afternoon here and then again Saturday. So he's really had 1.5 workouts.
Well, the Saturday workout was goal line short yardage.
Yeah.
It's not a normal offensive workout. He primarily studied the running game all day Saturday.
2nd down and 8. Alfred Anderson.
But it is amazing that a back can come in. Anyone, I don't care who you are, can go from one system to another, because Walker came out of a Cowboy system that when 36 was called, sent the play to the right. 36 with the Vikings is to the left. So everything is the opposite. Odd is to the right, and even is to the left. And for him to be able to pick up that kind of system that quickly, I don't care who you are, that is amazing.
3rd down and 6, 5:45 to go in the ball game. Draw play. And it'll be 4th down now. The Vikings will punt. You know, Terry, we talked about the mystique that Walker has, and he is enigmatic. He loves that. I should say this, though. I rode back from New Orleans last week, so listen to the applause, and we'll get the story in. Listen to the ovation for Herschel Walker. I rode back with John Wooten last week, who is now in the Cowboy front office, a former All-Pro guard who used to block for Jimmy Brown with the Cleveland Browns. And he negotiated with Mike Lynn and Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson the Walker trade. And I was with him on an airplane last Sunday night. I asked him what kind of a guy Herschel was. And he said, I can only tell you I have 3 heroes in this sport. Here's Query. Down at the 16. He said, my 3 heroes, the guys I most respect, are Ernie Davis, the late Heisman Trophy winner who died of leukemia at 23, Roger Staubach, and Herschel Walker. That's pretty good company.
Attorney Paul Tagliabue. The league's biggest story, the Herschel Walker trade, unfolded on the other side of the Dallas Metroplex.
This is an outstanding trade regarding the future of the Cowboys, and in my view, an outstanding trade for what we're going to be doing the remainder of the season in 1989.
Darren Nelson now out of the deal. Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson get these 4 players, plus there are additional conditional draft choices, which isn't so easy to say. Additional and conditional. But, Bobby, people are talking about it possibly being worth 12.
Offensively and defensively, with Herschel Walker rushing for 148 yards on 18 carries thus far. Don Majkowski has been sacked 7 times. Al Noga looks like he was attempting to get there. Woodside makes the grab. This may be a free play for the Green Bay Packers, and Joey Browner and Keith Woodside get into it. Here comes Fred Wine.
Offside defense, number 99, declined, first down.
Al Noga offside. Last week, 502 yards against the Dallas Cowboys, 116 today against the #1 defense in the NFL.
Well, Jerry Burns didn't know how good his defense was because he didn't really pay a lot of attention to the run and shoot of Detroit. I think after this game, against the #1 offense, he has to come away with the impression that, yes, this is a good defense.
Sterling Sharp. Majkowski with a nice job of being patient, standing in the pocket, and he finds Sharp all the way down to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 31 against the Minnesota defense. I'm just amazed at their pass defensive average. 89 yards a game they've given up.
Well, it's amazing. Well, you saw what's happened, Vern. The sacks, the pressure that's put on the quarterback just does not give them time to set up. And then honest to goodness, the coverage by the defensive secondary, Joey Browner and all the people of the Vikings just been outstanding.
1st and 10, Majkowski. There's the play fake again, trailing 26-7. Dolman gets him. Let him get out of his grasp and then caught up with him. That is the 8th sack today. And Chris Dolman gets his 2nd.
Count the feet of Majkowski. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set, nice steps up. The deep set indicated deep routes, and then the step up in the pocket tells you that the first guys were covered. He had to pull the ball down and wait, and when he did that, he gave Dolman enough time to miss him once and then get him the 2nd time.
8 sacks today, 29 for the year for the Minnesota Vikings. Woodside in motion. Pass caught. This is Carl Bland, touchdown. means he's not pleased.
We've seen it all year long. The quickest way to score is to throw in cut. Mikowski has the time. Ball slides on him a little bit and goes high, but look at the grab by Carl Bland, 83. Notice the in cut. Behind the linebacker, in front of the corner, they run into one another after the reception is made, and Bland sprints into the end zone.
That is only Carl Bland's second catch this year, his first touchdown. And Chris Jackie's extra point is up and good. So a 46-yard touchdown pass helps make it a little more respectable. 3:15, though, is all that remains in the ball game.
For the police, with the release of spiritual
And Newhart.
I think it's pretty funny.
It's wonderful.
Get ready for comedy you can measure.
We all can just go ahead and laugh.
Monday on CBS.
Carl Bland just caught his first touchdown as a Green Bay Packer. He is one of the Plan B acquisitions, of whom there are 7 still remaining on the Packer squad. They signed 20 of the Plan B players in the offseason. And now the Vikings, expecting the onside kick, have Walker back at the 15, but they've got the other 10 men up within 15 yards of the ball. 26-14, 3:15 to go. And here is Chris Jackie. DJ Dozier comes up and recovers it at the 42-yard line. So Minnesota will get it at that spot. Let's go back and take a look at Carl Bland's TD.
Watch Mikowski. He'll go 1, 2. He looks to the right, turns around, and spots and spins and throws to the left. In routes, the reason they're so good, the quick slant, Vern. Number one, they're good against man coverage because if you beat the cornerback, there's no free safety and you're off and running. Number two, you can throw them between linebackers and safeties. There's little areas there. That's why they're just a great route to run. Bland, a beautiful route, excellent catch. Mikowski, a real nice throw.
Walker's on the bench. Rick Penny gets the toss and goes to the right inside the 40 near the 37-yard line. Don't know whether Herschel Walker will play again now if this Minnesota lead stays as is. He's got 148 yards, and he is going to come back. Well, he starts in. Now he's called back out. And the Green Bay Packers have called time. Herschel with 148 yards today. The last time any Minnesota Viking went over 150 yards, it was that man. In 1977, Chuck Foreman gained 156 against Detroit. That was the last time any Viking had been over 150 yards. And Chuck is being applauded now, as a matter of fact, that his picture goes up on the screen here. Let's see if he takes a bow. His son's not going to let him.
Yeah.
Coming up tonight on CBS, what kind of a White House would let an astrologist decide what day the president should have a news conference? The Reagan White House. Nancy Reagan says it's true. Watch 60 Minutes tonight. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by the CBS Sunday movie, The Big Easy, the popular thriller starring Dennis Quaid and Ellen Barkin. Well, that's tonight. Penny. At the 31-yard line, tackle made by Burnell Dent, number 56. Final score is Green Bay calls a timeout now to stop the clock. Elsewhere in the National Football League, the Giants come from behind and hold off the Redskins 20-17. They go 5-1 in the NFC East. And Tampa having a dogfight with Detroit. Tampa is at Washington next week. 13-10. And Houston trailing Chicago 28-26. You think these Vikings and the Packers wouldn't love to see Houston come from behind and defeat the Bears for the second week in a row. 28-26 there. Miami over Cincinnati. How about that? 20-13 in Cincinnati. New England leads Atlanta in the fourth quarter. And it has happened. Now, that's about what the Cowboys have lost by each week. Last week, 31-13. Today, 31-14. Terry, you said it. Second half, they just can't hold it together. And the 49ers win again on the road.
Don't have any horses, and the one stallion they have is now galloping up here.
Right there.
Well, I know Jerry Burns has to be pleased with the effort both offensively and defensively. Primarily, number one, the black and blue division, which is what the Vikings and these Packers are a part of, have always had outstanding running games to complement great defenses. And I believe you win Super Bowls with great running games, great defenses with a mixture of the passing. And historically, the Vikings have always thrown the football, and the 4 times they've appeared in the Super Bowls, they've been beaten all 4 times. With a running game coming on today, with Millard and Dolman and Browner and Bland, all these young people playing so well, you would have to say that the Vikings have gotten to a point in the season where they are really peaking. I really believe it. Now, Burns won't like to hear this, you know, and he won't. He's not one of these coaches that has a VCR that's on, you know, taping this stuff. But from what I've seen today, the Vikings are the last 2 weeks have played outstanding football.
Well, and they've got Detroit next on the road, a Lion team that is 0-5, and though playing well down in Tampa today. 3rd and 1. Tommy Kramer, maybe. Bernell Dent, number 56, is up there as part of the tackle. 2:43 to go in the game.
On the other side of the corner, we're talking about Burns. You look at Lindy and Fondy, and a team that at this point last year, Vern was 0-5, and they're 3-2 this year. They went out, took $1 million to get into Plan B and spent only $800,000. That counts air travel and whatnot. And he says that by the Plan B, we were able to pick up 8 players that are contributing, and the lower half of our team no longer, which was bad, is no longer there. We don't have a lower half now. We have improved that much. So he is pleased with that phase, and he says the only thing bad about it is once we start getting better players is when Plan B comes around in February or March, we're going to have to protect 37 players, and that's where it's going to start getting harder to do. Who do you protect? Who do you let other teams have a shot at? This is a great coach right here. This guy is going to turn this thing around and has it in the right direction. I love his offense.
Measure for the first down, and Tommy Kramer did pick it up. So that'll be a 1st and 10 now for Minnesota with 2:40 remaining in the ball game. Jerry Burns telling us yesterday, says, what are you pleased with? You're 3-2. He said, I'm not pleased with any of the consistency we've shown.
3rd timeout.
And that is the 3rd timeout. Kramer, I think, is arguing about the spot. Green Bay uses its 3rd timeout, so they are out of timeouts. And Fred Wyand and Tommy Kramer talk it over. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the ball game, and of course the Vikings lead. Well, we've read opinions in both Dallas and Minnesota and around the country. I can't let the entire ball game go without asking your opinion of the trade. Walker, for all those draft choices, we hear that maybe or maybe not Steve Walsh is going to ultimately be a part of this.
I wouldn't be surprised when it's said and done that Walsh isn't up here. I believe that Mr. Lynn is committed to bringing the best he can to the Vikings and try to get them to the Super Bowl. And Walsh, I believe, is part of that deal somewhere down there. Not the Walker deal, but is in the plans for the Vikings to acquire. I believe this was a good trade for both teams. Vikings got what they wanted. Cowboys got what they wanted in draft choices. Yes, they got some players, but there are draft choices that are tied to the backs of these players. And if they don't work in Dallas, the players that they picked up in this trade, then they can take the draft choices. And, man, there's some number ones applied there. And the Cowboys, if they're smart with their drafting, with all these players they're going to pick up, they got to improve.
Of course, that is the key. How smart will they be with their draft choices? And D.J. Dozier with this carry as they try and run out the remainder of the clock now as Green Bay cannot stop it. The question is, you know, the Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones, the Jaybirds as they are called, not terribly affectionately in Dallas when you're 0-5, did not have a great first draft. And so the pressure really is on that organization. Yes, they've got the draft choices, Jerry. Now they've got to do something with them if they utilize them.
If you can pick up 2 or 3 players that help your team each year, that's a great draft. And they did pick up 3 players in Count Broderick Sargent. So I think the Cowboys did have a good draft. Now, maybe not a great draft, but they got the big guy. They got the quarterback.
We have the 2-minute warning here. Tommy Kramer and the Vikings, 26-14. They're en route to their 4th win of the year. As Halloween... 34-yard punt between these two teams, going all the way back to 86. 2nd down 1 and 2, and the Packers cannot stop the clock. Here's D.J. Dozier, and he's down to the 21-yard line. 1:50 to go in the ball game. Next Sunday on CBS, our NFL action begins with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And some of you will see Green Bay as they take on the Miami Dolphins in Miami. And the Minnesota Vikings go into the Silverdome in Detroit. That's all next Sunday. It begins with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. D.J. Dozier comes over to the sideline. Mark Dusbabic gives his new teammate a hug. For Herschel Walker, 148 yards on 18 carries, 1 catch for 7 yards, and a kickoff return that electrified this sellout crowd the first time he touched the ball for the Vikings. He returned to 57 yards and had it wiped out by an illegal blot by Darrell Ingram. That'll be a little footnote to Herschel's history here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I would like to see just how long Walker's going to remain the kickoff return artist. If he gets this offense, supposedly gets it down, which I don't know much better he can do today, but I wonder how long he'll continue to return kickoffs. That'll be interesting.
Chicago still leading Houston by 2. Miami has increased its lead over Cincinnati. Herschel Walker, who played for the Viking coaching staff in the Pro Bowl in '87 and met many of these Minnesota players because there were 10 of them there, and he said, I feel very comfortable early on. And here will be the final play of the game. Tommy Kramer spikes it and heads off. Minnesota goes to 4-2. Keith Millard has 4 tackles. Herschel Walker with 148 yards on the ground, 1 catch for 7, and a kickoff return for 57 yards, wiped out because of an illegal block. Final score 26-14, and Jerry Burns' team losers 2 in a row. See Burns, he react to the gun. They lost it by a count of look at Burns. Jerry.
You got me.
And let's go back just a moment ago. Watch Herschel Walker as the clock winds down. That's for Cindy. That's also for Capone and his new hometown, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, you take for granted so many times the great efforts that certain athletes make during a game, even for a team that they've been with for a while. But you have to understand and appreciate what this man has done and what he has been through emotionally when a team doesn't want him, is trying to use him to better themselves by getting rid of him, where he has a home, a family. He liked it in Dallas, and to be shipped to a strange environment, a city, and to handle it as well as he had, and then to come out and today, which we will assume was a limited game plan for him, Vern, and to perform the way he did, it's just truly phenomenal. I don't know how we can say it any better. Just phenomenal.
It was extraordinary, and there's Al Noga talking with some of the Packers. His congratulations are extended. Al Noga, the left, and he's, of course, one of the stalwarts in what is obviously one of the better front fours defensively in the National Football League. David Huffman, number 72, the offensive left tackle. As Green Bay falls 26-14, Keith Millard, the defensive star, with 4 sacks. There's John Spagnola, who was on injured reserve and eligible to come off next week, and John said, when we get you again, I'll be ready.
Yeah, he's got that shoulder, showing him his bad shoulder.
That's the end of the game. The final score, 26-14. Coming up next, the post-game show with Brendan Irv.
Always a thoroughly prepared team, noted for their attention to detail, the Minnesota Vikings were farsighted enough to bring their own weather to the NFC playoff game. The chemistry was simple enough. H2O doused the Rams' fire. For the all-pervasive downpour could not have been more damaging to the Rams' style of play. Aqueous slime had the players moving like ponderous leviathans, sliding and slogging in primeval ooze. The cleverly camouflaged Vikings, who would be at home playing in quicksand, squirted to a 14-0 lead. Then, as one of those gloomy Scottish poets might say, in the misty gloaming, the Rams closed with a gallant rush. But alas, they fell full 7 short to retreat in defeat from a field of mush. So while the year ended in dark despair, it also ended in direct opposition to a season that for the most part glimmered in sunlight. In '77, Rams fans were promised a rose garden. And game time was a grand-scale delight of pomp and pageantry. The centerpiece was a football team in quest of a 5th straight division title. A team whose explosive excitement would produce a ton of fireworks for the 5th. Don Klosterman, owner Carol Rosenblum, and son Steve gathered in Atlanta for the opener, and their eyes were on their new starting quarterback. But the Rams' Georgia debut was far from peachy, and despite moments of diamond purity, the day ended in a clear cut-glass defeat, 17-6. Next, the home opener, and the defense stormed over the Eagles. Thunderclaps by number 90, Larry Brooks, led to easy pickings in the Los Angeles secondary by cornerback Monty Jackson. The fast-warming offense popped off some cherry bombs as the Rams blanked the Eagles 20-0. Against San Francisco, defensive end Fred Dreyer ran the 49er line through a paper shredder, and the rest of the Rams defense then turned the shreds into confetti. As most opponents found out, playing the Rams was like being at San Juan Capistrano when the Swallows return. A lot of bells get rung. Thanks largely to 4 short touchdowns and alert efforts like this one by rookie linebacker Bob Brzezinski, the blue and gold notched victory number 2, 34-14. But while the team was together in spirit and emotion, execution had not yet reached full potential. In the season's 4th week, the Bears opened wide and gobbled up the Rams. Namath's passing was inconsistent, and the Bears were scoring on plays that started and ended in different counties. The 24-23 Los Angeles loss was noteworthy because Pat Hayden replaced Namath and almost staged a victory rally. It was a portent of things to come.
When it's finally time to move on, the new Saturn Ion Quad Coupe has a 140 horsepower engine, rear access doors, and a fold flat seat, so you can fit your bed, your bookshelves, your coffee table, your TV stand, and your chairs, which leaves just enough room for your desk. Get a 2003 Saturn Ion, L Series, or View at 0% APR financing for 5 years. For restrictions, see your retailer.
You don't hear this phone ringing? Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, where are you? You haven't called this house in 2 days. I'm so worried about you.
Who is it?
Dacus.
I got married. Yeah, I got married, Mom. I eloped.
But what in the world would make you do something like this?
$22 a weekend day for any compact car at Budget. For irresistible prices on irresistible cars, call 1-800-BUDGET-7 or visit budget.com.
I heard about Vonage on the radio. When I ordered it, I got a Vonage adapter, a router, and I just connected it to my cable modem. When you're averaging $150 to $300 a month on phone bills, you can see why a plan for $40 is appealing. We're going to save at least $2,000 this year. I'm Dexter Green.
I'm Christine Green, and we're Vonage customers.
Call 1 Help now. Get unlimited calling to all 50 states plus Canada for only $39.99 per month. Vonage, the broadband phone company. DSL or cable modem required.
After 13 glory-tinged years, the multifaceted career of Joe Namath had reached the turning point. The wrist rocket passes were still there, but the legs had given up their last remnants of athletic serviceability. Without mobility, Joe had become a well-worn buffer zone between hard-charging linemen and the fast-rising ground. The getting up was slow, and the introspection that followed was as lonely and bittersweet as a haunting love song. Father Time was making a call. Once flowing sands reduced to a trickle, the time had come to doff the war bonnet, fluff the hair, and look for new worlds to conquer. Hooray for Hollywood. And hooray for Pat Hayden. How did Joe take it? Like the gracious competitor he always was. Now, with Hayden's quickness and mobility, a new dimension was added to the Los Angeles arsenal. So Namath preached, Hayden practiced, and in week 5, the New Orleans Saints paid, as Pat's first start of the year became a 14-7 victory. One of Hayden's favorite targets against the Saints was tight end Terry Nelson, a fourth-year man whose abilities in all phases of the game have improved steadily. In only his first season as a full-time starter, Nelson has blossomed into a sure-handed pass catcher. Even in the slippery NFC playoff game, Terry proved to be a glue-fingered mudder, rugged and tough to bring down. Whether it was Pat Hayden or backup Vince Ferragamo throwing the ball, Terry Nelson would take it as far as it could go. While Nelson was a bull, wide receiver Ron Jesse was a greyhound. Unfortunately, Ron was lost early in the season, but the sting was lessened when rookie Billy Waddy, number 80, came on like a streak of lightning. And speaking of lightning, Harold Jackson, number 29, had his best year as a Ram, catching 48 passes. While the quantity was great, the quality was even better. Now, in the same way that Hasty Harrell outran his coverage, The Rams were getting ready to outdistance the rest of the NFC West.
There's only one neighborhood where the legends compete in the greatest games in history, ESPN Classic.
Shot on Elo, good! The Bulls win!
Sports legends don't retire. We just move over to ESPN Classic.
Oh, my God, man! He is gone!
United, Peyton, Montana, Elway, Marino. These are just a few of my neighbors. This is our stage now. ESPN Classic.
Time for great Memorial Day savings from Home Furniture. Get some great buys now, like this leather room package, including sofa, love seat, and free matching recliner. Or choose yours in red-hot microfiber. Our home theater wall units hold any TV, whether it's a regular, flat, or big screen size. And get half off on our best Kings Down pillow top mattress. You'll save $500. With interest-free financing till 2005. Hurry, Memorial Day savings end Wednesday.
It starts with one person with a desire to serve. They join with others across the nation, citizen soldiers on a mission to protect and defend country and community. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year to become part of something greater than themselves. Can you see yourself in this picture? Call 1-800-GO-GUARD or visit www.1800GoGuard.com. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Week 6, Monday. On national TV, the Vikings ran into things that went bump in the night. Things like defensive end Jack Youngblood, number 85. Things like cornerback Pat Thomas, number 27, who came up with 2 thefts while filling in for the injured Rod Terry. And then the offense went to work, and it was head for the hills, Ma, because the dam just broke. Rookie Wendell Tyler, number 26, streaked 44 yards. And out there in TV land, people watched in admiration as the Rams continued to pressure, continued to score, and rolled up a perfectly executed 35-3 win, which brought their overall record to 4-2. While both offense and defense had sparkled on this star-studded night, a great deal of credit had to go to the Rams' special teams. Return man Billy Waddy could swivel and squirm through a packed field, or he could give it one of those uh-oh moves and then streak quickly out of harm's way. Freeman Johns, Jackie Slater, Rick Newsom, Dwight Scales, Cullen Bryant, Rod Phillips, Winston Hill, Al Cowlings, Charlie Young, and Jackie Wallace were all valuable bomb squatters. Holder Nolan Cromwell helped place kicker Raphael Septien rack up 86 points to finish 3rd in the NFL in scoring. Invaluable contributions by men such as punter Glenn Walker, Kevin McLean, Greg Horton, Jim Jodat, and Bob Pifferini typified the spirit which enabled the Rams to lead the NFL in punt return coverage. The title drive encountered nothing but smooth sailing when the Buccaneers came west. Number 76, Cody Jones, and number 79, Mike Fanning, gave Tampa's quarterback 3 choices. He could eat the ball, cough it up, or throw it away. All 3 options were given lengthy tryouts, with throwing it away proving the most popular. Linebacker Jim Youngblood, number 53, took his in for 6, and Tampa Bay coach John McKay was not loving his homecoming. The Rams rolled up 31 points while keeping the Bucs off the scoreboard. But the real story of the day was running back Lawrence McCutcheon. Number 30 chalked up his 5,000th career yard. Only Dick Bass, with 5,417, had gained more yards as a Ram than McCutcheon. Now, Lawrence was closing in on a Los Angeles legend. For old number 22 had provided Rams fans with many a thrilling memory during the record-making years 1960 to 1969. But now, after only 5 years, it was Lawrence McCutcheon's turn to enter the record book. And he did it the hard way with a 145-yard day in a 23-7 victory over one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, that of the Atlanta Falcons. KMPC's Dick Enberg described the way it happened.
Gives to McCutcheon, trying to go to the right. Has a block at the 40, 45, 50. He's to the 48-yard line, and that's going to do it. That's the run. Lawrence McCutcheon is now the outstanding rusher in Ram history. He has just broken the record of Dick Bass. And now the announcement by John Ramsey.
The leading all-time Ram rusher ahead of Dick Bass. Dick Bass on the sideline.
The ball to Lawrence McCutcheon, and Dick Bass is congratulating McCutcheon.
Lawrence McCutcheon, you just did it. I'm glad to see you do it. Just keep on doing it because you're an excellent football player, and I'm proud for you to break everything I got.
Thank you, Dick.
All right.
Take the ball on that.
All right, I got it. I won't fumble it. Okay.
So McCutcheon gives the ball to Dick Bass. Hey, that's a very warm exchange.
Before the year was over, Lawrence of Los Angeles held 4 new Ram records, including most yards in a season with 1,238. Along the way, a lot of appreciated blocks were thrown by men like tackle John Williams, the man in the iron mask, by guard Dennis Harrah, whose teammates call him Hercules, by center Rich Saul, the complete craftsman, by a moving mountain named Doug France at left tackle, and by wily veteran guard Tom Mack. In the season's 9th week in Green Bay, the offense took it easy because the defense was awesome. Safety Dave Elmendorf, number 42, showed Medal of Honor courage by playing with a badly broken rib. His alertness was infectious, and the Rams rolled to their 6th win, 24-6. It was a win filled with inspirational moments, such as linebacker Carl Eckern's one-man goal line stand, which seemed to give Fred Dreyer a slight case of Sunday afternoon fever. Enthusiasm and emotion were Rams' trademarks in '77, especially for the linebacker corps, where number 58, Isaiah Robertson, relished the heavy hitting. Number 64, Jack Reynolds, is called Hacksaw, but plays with the stunning subtlety of a 20-pound sledgehammer. Jim Youngblood, number 53, was a full-scale disruptive influence to everyone's offense. The main thing about the Rams defenders was their strong sense of camaraderie. If they were a cavalry platoon in the Old West, their story would read, "These lusty heroes lived, laughed, and fought together, and with their boots on, they rode out and bit the dust together." Sometimes the defense stuck alone. Sometimes they stuck in pairs. But mostly they stuck together in great heavy swarms of blue and gold.
Right. Got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's great news. I appreciate it. Goodbye. Well, I've got some fantastic news.
I'm out of here.
No, it's Geico. Just saved myself a bunch of money on my car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Starting today, muscle pain is no reason for not taking off, not touching down, not raging, not ice dancing, not going vertical, not hitting the wall, not hacking, not taking the gloves off, not getting dirty. Introducing new Tylenol 8-Hour with 2 layers, one that's fast and one that lasts. All day, 1 dose. New Tylenol 8-Hour. It's the Tylenol for muscle pain, because not playing is not an option.
Honey, should I play a little something to get us in the mood?
There's nothing more magical than a Walt Disney World vacation, especially when you want it from Visa. Use your Visa card in May and June, and you're entered to win an exclusive after-hours Magic Kingdom party and amazing Walt Disney World vacation for you and 7 guests, and all the other winners, only from Visa.
This one gets Mommy and Daddy in the mood.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
I'm a player in the National Football League, but that is not who I am. I'm a member of a community dedicated to making a difference in people's lives.
I'm a player in the National Football.
The season's 10th week found the Rams in San Francisco, where the 49ers were overmatched by the magic moves of Billy Waddy and Lawrence McCutcheon, who was off on yet another 100-yard day. Jim Plunkett's leading receiver was Los Angeles free safety Bill Simpson, number 48. Simpson came up with 3 thefts, a passable imitation of Gale Sayers, and 95 yards in returns, which was a good trot down the road to a 23-10 win. The Rams were now in the middle of a 6-game victory streak. The 4th victim was Cleveland. Frigid temperatures could not cool the torrid Ram defense, which was on its way to a club season record of 3 shutouts. This 9-0 win under adverse conditions showcased the Rams' abundance of enthusiasm, talent, and depth. These were the qualities which now left the blue and gold only 1 big win away from their 5th division crown. And these are the already proven qualities that will be harnessed to the new leadership next season.
A revolution is underway. People everywhere are discovering a new way to protect their homes and families, all thanks to a new security system called SafeWatch EZ, only from ADT. Now you can arm your system with just the turn of a key, and with no codes to enter, SafeWatch EZ virtually eliminates accidentally setting off your alarm. Even if you misplace your key, you're still protected. It couldn't be easier or more affordable, because now you can get SafeWatch EZ for as little as $99, plus up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. Like every ADT system, SafeWatch EZ connects you to our monitoring center, where trained professionals watch out for you around the clock, helping protect you from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. No wonder more Americans choose ADT than any other security company. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. Always there.
Better than ever. The WNBA starts Thursday on ESPN2.
Real classics. They're the films we'll never forget.
You're going down, huh?
Now get an inside look at the greatest sports movies from the cast and crew who made them classics.
What are we waiting for?
Did Sly choose the same path to glory as boxing legend Joe Frazier?
He did a lot of running through South Philadelphia. I don't know if anyone is crazy enough to do the stairs.
Rocky II, the movie, and a behind-the-scenes look. Eastern Sunday, only on ESPN Classic.
In the season's 12th week, the Rams proved that all things were possible when, before a star-studded Coliseum crowd, they went up against the then world champion Oakland Raiders. It was like a homecoming. Ex-Ram greats caused the mind to recall past glories, times when giant killers and fearsome foursomes roamed the Coliseum turf, feeding on the shattered dreams of enemy quarterbacks. Who could ever forget the Deacon? He made a religion of reducing quarterbacks to sackcloth and ashes. Who could forget Merlin Olsen, number 74, racing out to all-pro honor and fame for 14 straight seasons? And Big Roger Brown, another all-pro of great renown, who took over Rosie Greer's position. And who can forget Lamar Lundy, a man whose courage on the field has lasted to become the courage of a lifetime. Ah, those were the days, my friend. But help from ghosts of seasons past was not needed, because this year's front four ranks among the best. All-Pro M. Jack Youngblood gets plenty of support from steadily improving tackle Cody Jones, number 76. Larry Brooks is one of the finest defensive tackles in the game. And, of course, flamboyant Fred Dreyer, whose quickness added yet another dimension as the Rams' defense ripped through the Raider line and cut Ken Stabler down an inch at a time. The Raiders were in the hole early, and the Rams' squeeze got tighter and tighter. The world champions had nowhere to run and nowhere to throw. Four times the Rams intercepted Stabler. This alert theft being picked off by Dave Elmendorf. When the offense took over, they powered relentlessly toward the end zone. John Cappelletti came in on a 4th and goal situation. It might have been the inspiration. It definitely was a guts touchdown. But the Raiders cannot be stopped forever, and late in the last quarter, they took the lead 14-13. A perfect time for any team to fold, but the Rams players and fans never gave it a thought. It was just time for character to surface, and the biggest firecracker of the year had to be launched. Rams 20, Raiders 14. With a 10-4 record, and for the 5th straight year, the Los Angeles Rams were the champions of the NFC West. While division championships are nice, the goals for 1978 are loftier. And as the man said, with hard work, all things are possible.
Classics, Rocky Mountain, 8 Eastern Sundays, all this month on ESPN Classic.
Hello. Yes, big. Blank right, 62 kick, on one. Ready? Hey! Blue 10, 5-1 right. Ready? Hit! 5-1 right. Ready? Hit! Up! Hit!
The Joe Namath Show with Dick Schaap. Joe and Dick have 4 terrific ball players with them today. 2 basketball players and 2 football players. The 2 football players are Steve Owens from the University of Oklahoma and Mike Phipps from Purdue University. Mike's the All-American quarterback this year. That's funny, I thought Joe was. And Steve the All-American tailback. I wonder what that is. The two basketball players are Dave DeBusschere and Walt Frazier from the New York Knicks. Would you believe that Walt Frazier is 6'4" and Dave DeBusschere is 6'6"? Dick says that's just average for basketball players, but that's awful tall for me. We'll start playing in a minute.
You know why I totally lose control? I like it.
This summer, the big men come out to play.
I don't think we've seen it all yet.
The Hulk, in theaters everywhere June 20th. And the NBA Finals on ABC Sports.
We're gonna have to watch that temper of yours.
Experience the incredible.
Gale Sayers. Magic in motion.
Hi, welcome back. We've got a great lineup today. I can't wait to feast my eyes on a couple of All-Americans. Really, they're young kids, you know, just 21, 22 years old. 2 years younger than me, maybe 3.
How much younger than you?
Well, 1 or 2 years younger than me.
You didn't look quite that young against Oakland.
I don't feel quite that young today after playing Oakland either.
I think you've got a lot of courage showing up for the show. You're probably going to show up this weekend?
I think I have shown a lot of courage showing up for these shows, especially since we did the Tonight Show. That came off pretty badly, but what are you going to do, Dick?
Was there a big turning point in that game against Oakland, did you think?
Well, as you said earlier, probably the opening kickoff was the biggest turning point. Right from then, I could tell things went badly.
Really? Well, we're going to have a treat for you. We're going to take a look at the horror movies.
We have the films of the game?
Yeah, we've got the pictures of the game, and you can watch all your good friends in action.
Well, here we are. Well, that's Ike Lassiter, the number 77 for Oakland, and he's not a very friendly guy in the field. He's only about 6'7", 290. He's 290 pounds, and when he falls on you. But Roger Finney is doing a great job on him right here. But things didn't go quite that way. It's Ben Davidson, who never beats Winston Hill. Winston always, look at it, really.
Almost
Winston Hill does a great job on it.
I hear that Ben and Matt Snell had a little fun together.
Right. Well, they didn't have... Matt didn't have fun. I think Ben was having fun when he was on the ground one time. He put a little extra twist on Matt's head. But,
now you can have some fun back there.
Uh-oh. We just didn't have anybody open that time. The protection looked like it lasted long enough, but, watch yourself, son. I just step out of the way. There's no problem.
That's right. It looked like you were smiling there.
No, I don't think I was... What's this? Oh. Oh, that wasn't bad there. Of course, that ground really gets hard, you know, in November and December, especially when you're losing. Ow. Now, that one hurt. That one hurt in the head a little bit.
Do you ever have them say anything to you while you're on the ground?
No, they don't talk. There's a good play by Jerry Fieldwood. I'm glad to see we hit them for a change. Jerry played a good game. The only problem with yesterday's game, I think, was Darryl LaMonica had a great day, and their receivers had a good day. Here's John Elliott tackling LaMonica. I think that's the only time we got him. One other time we hit Darryl, and they called a roughing the passer penalty. We didn't get any of them.
They wouldn't rough you. They wouldn't dare rough you.
No, they wouldn't. Not unless they got the chance.
I think we made a good choice with the films, though. From those films, the game was 0-0.
Right. That's the best we did all day, 0-0. But we'll be back. We play them, well, we may play them again if we're fortunate enough to win our division and win the first playoff game.
That would be a lot of fun. You'd end up playing them in Oakland.
Right, and they put in a new rule that we're allowed to play 14 guys that day instead of 11.
That's good.
That's the equalizer. You see, they have the referees on their side, and we have another 4 players.
That is in my mailbag.
What?
They don't give me any room.
Well, here, let me... It's over here. How's
Hey,
that?
I heard you were all hurt and everything, but you look fine.
Thank you.
How'd you do it?
Well, I just, maintain my cool and my regular tough self and show it.
You wear a helmet, right?
Right.
I have a letter here from California.
I can't wait to hear it. I know it's going to be good.
Dear Mr. Namath, you've been getting a lot of nasty letters on your show, and I don't think it's very fair. All those girls write to you and want to meet you and go out with you, and I guess it gets to be a real pain. Not as bad as getting beat up on the field, right?
No, it's not that bad. In fact, it's not bad at all. It's not a real pain.
I don't want your autograph. I don't want your picture. Please just send me all your mail. I'll take care of it for you.
Well, that might be a deal there.
Sincerely, Phil.
Phil? That is a change.
Well, you're getting letters from men now.
Well, I mean, we have some sports enthusiasts at our mills these days, contrary to what a lot of people think.
I think you better borrow that outfit for the next game. I think that'll
it's heavy.
protect your neck.
Strong. And you also can spread it on the ground and eat your picnic on it afterwards.
We don't have picnics while we're playing, I don't think. I wish we could, though. Next week, if we get out in front, I'm going to have a picnic on the sideline.
All right, you going to invite me?
No. No.
Here we got a commercial.
Yeah.
Stay tuned as Joe shows some chinks in his hunky armor.
I know when I go back to pass the ball 40 times after the game, I'm tired, man. Our first two guests today are two young football players I'd like to have playing on my side next year. One of them is everybody's All-American quarterback. I never made first-string All-American myself. And the other one is the winner of the Heisman Trophy as the outstanding college football player in the country. I never got that either. Two great college football players, quarterback Mike Phipps of Purdue and Heisman Trophy winner Steve Owens of Oklahoma. Great to have you with us. Well, the whole season's over now. You don't go to any bowl games this year or anything?
Well, I have to go. Heisman Trophy should go first, right?
Quarterbacks go first on this show.
There you go, Mike.
Okay. Well, I have a couple bowl games planned. The North-South Shrine game is played Christmas Day, and that's in Miami. And I'm fortunate enough to play in that one. Also, there's one in Honolulu, the Hula Bowl.
I guess you're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, heck yes. There's almost 2 weeks out there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it would be a lot of fun while you're preparing for the game, but once you get in it, it's not too much fun. Well, tell me, coming up, next year you go into pro football, Mike. Do you have any one particular team you're looking forward to being drafted by?
Well, I kind of thought about that, but the more you think about it, the more confused you get because there's really no control over where I will go. I've just kind of want to go where I have a good chance to play. That's about all.
Right. Think about New York?
The Jets, you mean, or the Giants?
The Jets.
Well, the Giants probably have a better chance of drafting them because they'll probably come in last. Or Steve, do you have any preferences? Have you talked with anyone from the pros yet?
Well, I've talked with some, Joe, but I really don't have any preference. I know you don't have a choice anymore who you're going to play with, so I'm just, I'll be happy to go anywhere,
Right, that's not a very fair thing. Have you guys, in college, have you ever really went into detail as far as discussing the unfairness of the pro draft? I mean, does it bother you a lot? It should. I would think that you only have one choice to go to and you don't have any bargaining power.
Yeah, that's true, but I think it's not fair to the player, but maybe it's fair to the whole league because of teams that come in last need players that can rebuild and help their team, and I think this is the best thing for the league because it gets young players that have some ability and allows them a chance for a team that isn't playing that well to maybe rebuild and come up, and it's the best thing for the league,
Right, well, you're right about that, especially going into next year while the leagues are combined. What I meant was last year and the year prior to that. I was a little mixed up with that.
You mean?
Right, they outlawed it last year and the year before that while there were still two leagues.
It's a financial setback to you because when Joe came out, he got drafted by both St. Louis and the Jets, and it's nice to sit back and watch them bid. Of course, I realize you don't play football for money yet.
No, it's the sheer love of the game.
Steve, Steve in his last game carried the ball 55 times. Do you do that for sheer love of the game?
Well, that's a lot of times, Baker. I carry it as many times as it takes to win, and we had our off-tackle players were working, so I just carried the ball. And it's just a part of playing football, and I enjoy carrying the football a lot because if you're not carrying the football, you have to block and fake and things like this, and I'd rather carry the football.
Yeah, I don't know if people really realize what carrying the ball 55 times a game means. That means you're getting hit by 2 or 3 people at least, at a minimum of 55 times. Now, I know when I go back to pass the ball 40 times after the game, I'm tired, man. You know, and that's just dropping back 7 yards, and I don't get hit every time. But for a man to carry the ball 55 times, I think that's, you know, tremendous.
It's incredible. I mean, in most pro games, all the backs together don't run 55 times.
Right.
Don't even come close to it.
Very rare.
You'll get a rest next year. You'll have it a lot easier. You just have to carry 20 or 30 times a game.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you worried about, well, I shouldn't say you're worried about it. It's a little early yet. But over the years, there's been kind of a jinx on the Heisman Trophy winners. This year, of course, O.J. Simpson. I think O.J. is probably one of the greatest running backs I've ever seen. I think if he was with a team that had a better offensive line, then there would be no question about his success. He would probably be Rookie of the Year. But as it is, he's not with a real strong team, and he's not having that kind of success. But through the years, the Heisman Trophy winners really haven't produced. Have you thought about that at all?
Well, Joe, you know, the thing about the Heisman Trophy, it's presented to the best college football player in America, or what the people think of the voters. And a college football player and a pro ball player are two different types of players. There are a lot of players that you don't hear about in college that make it real big in pro. So I feel like the Heisman Trophy jinx, I don't think there's such a thing, because I think a guy can be a great college football player and not necessarily be a great pro. It's just one of those things. And some of the players that have won Heisman Trophy haven't done well in pro ball, but there are some that have. So
I remember the first time I voted in the Heisman Trophy, I voted for Jimmy Brown when he was a senior at Syracuse, and he didn't win.
He didn't do too well in pro.
But he lost out to a pretty good football player. He lost out to Paul Hornung that year. So
one thing, though, even though the Heisman Trophy winners over the past haven't really done that great in professional football, well, not the better percentage of them, I don't know of one instance in the past years to where the player that really earned the Heisman Trophy didn't get it. In other words, I thought the voting down through the years was very fair, and I thought the right man deserved it each year. And that's including John Hewart in my year, and, you know, Barry, the quarterback from Oregon. What was it?
Terry Baker.
Yeah,
Terry Baker, right? And these guys never played, but when they played for their college team, the trophy is the most outstanding college football player, and they certainly did earn it those years.
Well, Mike came in second in the voting this year, and he shouldn't worry because you only came in 6th or 7th, and there were 3 quarterbacks ahead of Joe his senior year.
Yeah, but Mike only played 4 games.
But that wasn't out of choice, was it? How high did you finish your junior year when you played every game?
Did I finish every game? My junior year, I didn't even play every game. I ran into a little trouble in my junior year.
Hey, you fellas both went to college in your home state. Were you heavily recruited by out-of-state colleges, Steve?
Well, I visited a lot of schools, but I want to go right around the area. Arkansas University and Missouri and Kansas and Oklahoma State. They were all real close to my hometown, race of about, you know, a couple hundred miles. So I really want to go pretty close to home. But I'd always want to play football in Oklahoma because it's my home, and there's been a lot of great football teams at Oklahoma University, and I just want to be a part of it. So I always wanted to go to Oklahoma.
Mike, were you tempted to go out of Indiana?
Well, I wasn't really tempted. The only thing I wanted to do was play a Big Ten school. And
must be a masochist.
Yeah. That's a real good conference there, and they have a lot of, well, there's 10 teams that are great football teams every year. But there was only 2 in Indiana, and that was University of Indiana or Purdue. And I visited them both, but I think I like Purdue better, and I'd made up my mind real quick because they have a good school, and they're tradition-wise, they always have a good team.
Well, there's no doubt about you making the right choice because you've certainly had a great career at Purdue. We'll take a break here now from a word from your local station.
Up next, Dave DeBuscher reveals how the show changed his life.
Everything changes your whole life. Things are nicer at home. The food tastes better, you know.
Our guests, 2 great basketball players, Walt Frazier and Dave DeBuscher. how do you fellas feel after winning 18 straight games? There aren't many athletes who've ever had that experience in any sport. Are you glad to have the pressure off, Walt?
Not really. I don't think there was a lot of pressure on us because we weren't viewing it as setting records. We were just going out every night playing good sound basketball. And basically, I don't think I felt any pressure. The only pressure that we really felt was one time in Atlanta, was when we had a chance to tie the record. But after that, it was all downhill. Then the Cincinnati game was in Cleveland. Well, the last 2 free throws, I felt a lot of pressure.
You didn't even hit the net with them.
Yeah, right. Well, that was a game in Philly that almost blew the game, so I had to make up for it.
He only had 37 steals that game.
37. Dave, how'd you feel about it? Was there any extra pressure on you, or you and Walt share the same feelings on it?
Well, I think sort of. I felt that when you're a professional athlete and you're within reach of setting a record or having an opportunity to set a record, it's quite a thrill, and it's an accomplishment that I feel that I felt very proud of, Joe. You know yourself, when you're in professional athletics and you have an opportunity to come close to a record or to reach something that perhaps no one has ever been there before, it gives you great pride to even be in that position, because probably it'll never come again the rest of your life.
When you were with Detroit, you had a chance to set some records, didn't you?
Yeah, but they were on the other side.
Is it a big change playing with a team like this after being out of contention most of the years in Detroit?
Well, definitely so. When I came to New York, it was a different atmosphere and a different environment surrounding the Knicks that was there in Detroit, and I felt that when you go to a winner, it's a lot different than when you come from a loser to a winner. It's really a big experience for you, because everything changes your whole life. Things are nicer at home. The food tastes better. It's just you wake up in the morning with a different outlook, and that's the way I really feel here.
Yeah, you pitched in the major leagues. How did you ever get out of that?
Well, at that time, Joe, I was also player-coach of the Detroit Pistons, and when I gave it a good shot, I felt, in the professional baseball, but I was further advanced in basketball, and I think I had the area of responsibility there with both a player and a coach with Detroit was far too great to keep going with a dual career, and so I definitely chose
Right, that would be quite a hassle. Well, Walt, just as everyone throughout the country or every Knicks fan feels about you, the way I feel, I know, it's just, we get a thrill out of watching you play basketball, and Dave agreed with it. Certainly, you're one of the most exciting basketball players in the game today. Do you feel that the spirit of the whole team is really the big thing that contributes? I know the talent that the Knicks have is the main thing that was the reason for your winning, but do you feel that the spirit, the winning spirit, is the main thing that contributes to your winning?
Definitely. Like Dave said, he was on a losing team. Then he came to the Knicks, where he felt that right away, his whole attitude about the game changed, and that now he's with the winners. So I think it helps you to play better, too. And like last season, we were probably the hottest team in basketball.
And last season, that killed me,
So we lost, and I think this year, that was a great change even coming to training camp. All the guys were, Ada Busher was below his weight. He was only about 50 pounds overweight. Willis Reed came in, all the guys came in shape, and we were ready to play ball.
Yeah, well, like last year, I don't know if everyone realized it, but the Knicks last year, I thought were the best basketball team going. They had beaten the Celtics. What did you beat the Celtics during the regular season?
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7 times, and then went into the playoffs and beat the Bullets 4 straight, and then lost to the Celtics in the other playoffs. Of course, you only had 5 guys playing. You had a pulled hamstring, and then...
Well, that's what really hurt us, Joe.
Right.
Walt got hurt.
Walt got hurt. You only had 5 guys. Everyone else was hurt, right? You sub?
Right. We're a little thin then.
Right, last year. But this year, anybody that comes in the game does great.
It's incredible.
I think this is one of our secrets, too, that we've got a great bench. We've got Cazzie Russell and Dave Starworth, who probably on any other team they could be started.
I don't think it's a secret anymore, though, Walt. In beating everyone, I think they realize that.
Do you do any special drills, Walt, to work on your ball handling and the dribbling? Anything really unusual?
Not now. When I was growing up, playing ball, there was a lot of drills that I did. But basically now I just come out and, it seems to all fall in place. Right now I just try to stay in shape and I can see him make baskets.
Dave once mentioned to me, you do some kind of a drill going down court, dribbling behind your back all the way. Is that before the season?
Yeah, doing training camp. And some mornings when I really feel like practicing, I'll do that.
What do you do when you feel like playing?
Really, it is pretty hard to feel like practicing in the morning.
That's right.
I think regardless of what sport it is, people find it difficult. Well, Dave, you coached when you were at the age of 24, and you probably know more about coaches and coaching than most guys your age. What do you think of Red Holtzman? What kind of guy is he?
Well, Red's the best coach that I've ever played for, and I've played for quite a few,
In Detroit,
we changed quite a bit because they felt that when you change, you win a couple of games, So we changed every month. But anyway, no, Red is a sound, basically fundamentally orientated type of coach, and I have great admiration for him, and I think his basic strong point is holding us together and being able to deal with the different types of personalities that are there in professional sports.
Right. A lot of problems that coaches have. They don't understand it. They are dealing with a lot of various personalities, and everyone certainly don't agree on the same thing.
Dave's roommate, different personality. He rooms with the only Rhodes Scholar in professional basketball, or probably all professional sports. Is it true Walt was saying all the different things that people did to get ready for the season? I heard that Bill Bradley cut down to reading only 4 books a night so his eye would be sharp.
Yeah, that might be true. I don't know. He does spend quite a bit of time reading, but he enjoys it, so...
He came into basketball, when he first got in with the Knicks, he didn't do all that great, and people were looking for him really to tear it up, from the beginning, but heck, he had a layoff. He'd been playing over there in Europe a bit, but now he's just doing a great job for him.
One of the things I noticed on a lot of basketball teams, you get the feeling that guys don't want to pass off because they suspect they'll never get the ball back again. But it seems on the Knicks, you're all willing to pass off because you know you'll get a pass back if you're free. Has this changed over the years, Walt?
I think so. On our team, it's a very unselfish team. That if a guy has an open shot and there's another guy closer to the basket, he'll give the ball up.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's paying off great. Like teams, it's very hard to defense our team because we move the ball so well.
Well, we've run out of time, ladies and gentlemen, so we have to close for now. Join us again next week, and thank you.